Good morning, everyone. Let me get this stream going live on Instagram. Let's see. We're live on Instagram. We're live on TikTok. Let's give a little let's boost our views. This is the comic stream. I am DJ Kaufman. I'm going to go ahead and share this out to the team real quick. Usually I do this part ahead of time, but here you can see what I'm doing. I am over here and I'm going to post the comic live. It should be the 19th. This is the thumbnail for today. Live right now. Right now, making comics. Post that link. Tag up VeeFriends. A little behind the scenes action for you this morning. Good morning, everybody. VeeFriends. Let's do the VeeFriends live too. And let's tag that up. Post that. Then I'm going to take this whole little post here. I've got a separate little chat that you guys can't see, but I'm going to put it in there. Okay, live making comics. Maybe I'll show you something cool today. All right, let's get in here. I finished up this comic. This was a lot. This was like 16 hours. Mostly the coloring was a lot. So there's Tidy Troll in this one this weekend. So look for that very soon. We'll just skip that for now. Good morning, everybody. This is the VeeFriends Making Comics show. I am DJ. I am DJ. I am having coffee and drawing some comics and just getting to work here this morning. So good morning, everybody. Appreciate you. Let's see. Wait, my camera's not on. What's going on? Why is that not changing? Here. There I am. Hello. The beauty of live streaming, you know, sometimes got these cameras switching. I'm DJ. This is me. This is my coffee. These are the comics I'm drawing today. This is Making Comics Live. VeeFriends is over 250 characters created by Gary Vaynerchuk. You might know him on the internet as Gary V. Hence the name V and VeeFriends. If you're watching in a replay, hey, say hello in the chat and comments. Good morning. Good morning, Daddy Dolphin over there on Instagram. I am live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Alana. Here's a picture of Alana here holding the newspaper from last Sunday. Lots of people collecting the newspaper. We've got the cartoons out on YouTube Kids, VeeFriends Cartoons. We've got the trading card game. Let me get rid of this. We've got Topps Chrome coming out May 7th. That's a big deal. Big deal. VeeFriends Minis. Let me go ahead and set my timer here. Get my pencil. Anybody in the chat, blue or green for which capsule I'm going to open. These are the pencil toppers. They're little mini pencil toppers. I'm always looking for the detailed ones. We've got the VeeFriends comics coming very soon. VeeFriends comic books. We have a lot of comic strips out there, and that's what I'll be working on today. We've got the comic book coming very soon. Can't wait for the stories to actually get out there. It's going to be, I believe, a game changer for VeeFriends, especially the origin stories straight out of Gary's brain. Follow us on VeeFriends Comics on all of our socials, please. Howdy, Cincinnati Card Shop. What's going on? Are you going to order those? You're going to order the Topps Chrome, right? Not too far from me. I'm over in Pittsburgh. Don't hold it against me. I love Cincinnati. I've been live here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll be back Friday, 8 a.m. too. But today I'm going to draw some... I don't know what's going on. Why is that comic open? Okay. Today I'm going to draw some... a whole new comic here. Am I not live on... I feel like I'm not live on TikTok. What's going on? Let me see. Let me see what's going on. Am I live on TikTok? Live has ended. Uno momento. Let's figure out what's going on with the TikTok channel. You can't go live on TikTok yet. Apply here. Well, let's apply. Access not approved or revoked. Access approved. Okay. TikTok's so weird, guys. It's like you've been denied for TikTok, and so now I just got approved for TikTok. I can't. So let's try to turn that on, because that'd be a bummer. An error has occurred. Let's turn it off and turn it on again. Let's see what happens. We should be going live on TikTok here in a second. You're learning a little bit about this setup that I've got here. It's pretty crazy. Not something a normal cartoonist would do, I guess. Now we're live. Now live will be shortly. So live will begin shortly. All right, great. We will be live on TikTok. Got my people over there on TikTok. They want to see these streams too. Okay, good. See, D Coleman, what's up? Sorry for the delay, my friend. I was just checking to make sure we're live on all of our normal channels. We're live on Instagram. Who do I see over on Instagram? Nikos, Kubia, Inna, Beyond Image Photography, green, blue. We're going to go with Beyond Image Photography's green for the capsule of the morning, the VeeFriends mini topper, and then I'm going to get the drawing. I'm praying, only been open 7 months and no distribution yet. Oh boy. What kind of marketing are you doing, Cincinnati Card Shop over on X? Hey, we got a Cynical Cat bubblegum. I've been having a lot of fun drawing the Cynical Cat in the the Sunday comics, like this one from a couple weeks ago. I love drawing them in the box. You know, I gotta say, I'm just trying to make it like fun and interesting to look at. Not a slam on other comics in the newspapers, but some of them are just kind of boring looking to look at. They're not doing much with the characters. They're kind of just sitting around. I've been liking to have the expressions on, especially Cynical Cat. He's just fun to to play with there. And where's the other one I just did? Where is it, guys? Same thing with him like sleeping in the trash. Because cats do that. I really like this. Hey, when comic books? When comic books? I don't know. You know, soon. Someday. Alright, dueling banjos. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's get here. Eric. Good morning. Eric Schiller, what's going on? Good morning, empathetic internet thugs. Okay. I came up with this one this morning. I'm gonna flesh it out. It's not what I would normally be working on, but it's a little comic about patience. How much longer? I'm tired of waiting. I'm just writing this one out. So this is the idea here for this one. And I'm not going to do a warm up unless you really want me to do a warm up sketch. I'm just going to get right into these comics. But guys like, oh, I'm tired of waiting, and then we're gonna have Patient Panda here sitting by a tree going like, just a little more. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and then In this panel, I want to have like a flower blasting out of the ground, like, you know, like that. I don't know. And then in this panel, it'll be the flower and then the worm from the dirt coming up, going, yeah, like, let's freaking go, because it's springtime. They're like waiting for spring. Very simple concept, but maybe you can add layers to the dimensions there. So let's just go ahead and work this out a little bit. Hey, Danny. I think it's Danny. Dannykins. Good morning over on. But I think, you know, I always have a patient panda here. If you're not familiar with VeeFriends, by the way, where's my post-it note? Email us at comics@veefriends.com. Let us know that you're new to the stream or new to VeeFriends. It's just me and Corso getting this. We're not going to spam you or anything. We might send you something cool. And follow VeeFriends on all the socials. Comics@veefriends.com. But this is a patient panda. All of our characters, we have over 250 characters to collect and just or just hang out with. You're hanging out with patient panda today. Gratitude gorilla. We've got this kind of weird heart head character. He's kind of a strange being with a giant heart head called Be the Bigger Person. He's got his little angry cloud. This character's really grown on me, though. And these basically are, you know, avatar sort of characters that remind you to do those things, to have some patience and gratitude for the little things. So that's what this is the strip that I'm working on today. It's a little bit about patience. It's been a while since Patient Panda's been in the comics. He's just been sitting around waiting. He's been waiting to show up. In this case, you know, spring. So we're going to just work on this first panel here and see how far we can get. I might even do some coloring. And we'll try to do a full panel and then keep going. 70 degrees here, then dropping back into the 40s. Yeah, spring tomorrow. DJ, you're on spot for what the creative space in comics is lacking. Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's tough because I think there's a lot of creators out there that want to do more, but they're really limited by the mediums they've chosen. You know, newspapers is tough. The sales of newspapers are down, and comic books, same thing. Like, people are all trying to like sell movies, and comic books have become like ultra violent, you know, over the years, and I think it's kind of exhausting to a certain extent. So with VeeFriends, you know, we're having a little fun, a little escapism, but also some lessons for myself even. And here's our patient panda. I'm gonna just draw his little eyes in here. I know Steve will be on pretty soon. Steve's over there in Ireland. We've built nice little community. VeeFriends already has a big community of fans, friends. We like to say that strangers become acquaintances, and acquaintances become friends. And friends become family. That's kind of like one of our little slogans that we've got. Nico says, hey, please, guys from live yesterday, check the Whatnot inbox. Sure, I'll tell someone to check that. I'm sure that if Corso is watching. All right, I'm not sure if Corso is off today. No, he messaged me. If he's listening, he'll check it, or I'll tell someone to check him in. Well, let me know what's up. You should write them on Whatnot. Oh, what is this? I missed something. I must have missed a comment over there on Instagram. Sorry, but if you're looking for like any kind of customer service or anything like that, you could email us too at comics@VeeFriends.com. If you need us to help with something like an order, I can get it to the right people. I'm not customer service, but you can email me at comics@VeeFriends.com and I'll make sure it gets to the right person on the team. Great. Danny or Danikins? Danny with 2 eyes. Thanks for sharing the video. Thanks for the follows there. Appreciate that. Corso messaged me and said, like, we got 20 followers last night, overnight. We don't know why. And I'm like, why don't we ask them? Why don't we just reach out and be like, hey, how did you find VeeFriends? Was it just served to you in a stream? Or what? So, yeah, I haven't drawn a little 4-panel strip in a while, so that's what I'm working on right now. I've been working on these like mega Sundays, and which I do enjoy doing, but I kind of also feel like I've missed just working on some dailies that aren't restricted. You know, this idea came to me this morning, and it's weird. It's also about patience, but it's also like, you know, every once in a while I like to do just a fun weird one. And I'll tell you why it's weird. I'm going to show you because, like, let's get to the weird spot, because this is pretty tame right here. It's just a panda bear under a tree, and we're going to ink him in. You know, it's patient panda here. Pretty easy, right? And I always like to, if they're leaning against a tree, and you know, this is the cool part about this strip, will be about springtime, but about patience. So there's no leaves on the tree here, right? Gotta have that on purpose. Gotta keep this space open here. And the colors will be not spring, and then the last panel will be very similar to this. So I'm going to just take this pencil, take these pencils, copy them, paste them, drag them down here, maybe blow them up just, or move them up a little bit, just for positioning. And then, now back in the day, we would do this on a light board. You know, we would just have the same characters, or like animation, you might take that, fade that panel out, get rid of the roughs underneath it, so we don't need those anymore. Get out of here, roughs. And then, nope. Where are we at? There we go. Fade that out even more. Because the fun part about this strip will be, let's just duplicate that again. Just for positioning. I think those will be the position of the characters. I'll ink it all again because I think this panel is the weird panel that I want to talk about. We're going to have a flower bursting out of the ground right here. Yeah. For springtime. There he is. Let's just work that weird little fun cartoon flower bursting out of the dirt. And I gotta have his, like, you know, energy looking like he's unleashed. And put a little mouth on him. Hold on a second. Let me see something. I want to see how many petals. How many petals does a daisy have? I'm gonna say 6. Whoa, 15 to 30. Okay, well, we're good. We're good. There's no wrong answer there then. So, like, he's, like, blasting out of the ground. Just... springtime. It's finally here. This is how it happens. So you wake up one day and then these flowers are just like, I'm free. I don't know, you know. It's just, sometimes when you're drawing, like, the character's going to be like, you know, they say, that's not what he's going to be saying, but that's funny. Just to paste that in there. All right. Makes me laugh, so, you know, that's if it's not making yourself laugh, you know, then you're... I've been excited about spring. I'm so prepping for my garden beds, Matthew Cunningham says. Keeping up projects at work, helping my wife plan for new business, and meeting with brokers. Soon investors to get some capital. You got to plant those seeds too. Those financial seeds, right? Yeah, so this is the weird part. When I said I'm working on a weird comic, like here they're like, he's waiting, like you don't know what they're waiting about in panel 1. How much longer? I'm tired of waiting. And, but I don't know why my sounds aren't working on my my Stream Deck. Anyways, I'm not worried about that. Just a little more. I don't want to zoom in on Panda's face here. Some like church bells going on outside. I don't know. Some of that. Matthew Cunningham, flowers. Oh, Vintage Edge says having a watch party with the Chrome Bridge. Shout out to the Chrome Bridge. That sounds crazy. Like, you don't know what that is if you're just watching this. I'll show you real quick again. VeeFriends Chrome, our trading card with Topps Chrome, comes out May 7th. So over on Twitter /X or whatever you want to call it these days, they're having a 24/7 community chat happening over there. And they're keeping it going 24 hours until May 7th. And I got a feeling like it's going to keep going. I got a feeling there's going to be some hardcore people that like, you know, that sounds crazy, right? That you're just broadcasting nonstop. But think about it. It's just like, there's nothing, it's not new. It's a radio station, you know? It's a radio station, really. You're just having different hosts come on and fill in the spot, you know? It's kind of cool. Sorry I haven't been able to pop on those. I've been very busy. I'll show you a little bit about what I'm working on behind the scenes. I can't tell you exactly what it's for, but I want to show you some stuff. Because I've had some... I've had these out lately. I've had my Copic markers out. Can you guess what I was drawing by the colors here? Let's see. I'm just going to grab these. Put in the chat if you can guess the character I was drawing with these colors. It should be pretty easy for VeeFriends fans, I think. Mr. Messer, what's up? If you can guess the character I was drawing, I'll show you what I was working on. How about that? Because I've kind of prepped for this. What character am I drawing with these colors? If you know VeeFriends, put the name of the character in the chat. Okay? Well, there you go. Fearless Fairy. All right. I promised I would show it, so one sec. I blocked some things out, but this here is a giant uncut sheet of something, you know. And wait, there's a wire in the way. So, oh man, there's a wire in the way. Okay. So it's a little sketch. Some sketch things. That's all I'm going to say. Sketch things. There's your screenshots if you want to get it. One of one cool things. Probably for the comics. Ow. Dude, I just stepped on a terrible dog bone. Gosh, my dog. This thing, I'm throwing this away. This is terrible. This is like a weapon now. Ow. Oh my God. You got me. It's like worse than Legos, man. Anyways, there you go. Hopefully you like that. So we don't need to. I don't need to shade that in. I know it's going to be black. So yeah, we're working on. Man, I'm working on so much stuff. Yesterday was a big day. Like, it's been a long time since I was up super late working, but I got some deadlines on some things, and the Sunday comic as well. And you know, this one kind of came to me this morning about patience, and you know, I'm patient. I'm patient to a degree, you know. I've been joking a lot about it on the streams where I'm like, my patience has run out with the comic books. Like, we should have comic books out right now, I feel like, and we've just had a lot of little delays and things. But I think everything's for a reason. So I also believe that. So I think there was probably a reason that we had some delays, and it's gonna work out. It's gonna be awesome. Be freaking awesome. There we go. I'm gonna scoot him over too. I just want to get his main foot, and probably that foot. Do you know any vendors who are selling the Topps Chrome? I'm not sure. I mean, I'd imagine any major card shop is going to get the marketing from Topps. I know this because I was at that Comics Pro convention a couple weeks ago, and Topps presented there. They didn't show the VeeFriends stuff, but they're actually really pushing into hobby shops even more, and they've got Topps has a really extensive system for these shops to sign up, and so I'm sure that your local shop will have access, or at least the opportunity to carry it. But I would say reach out to your local card shop now and let them know about it. Send them to the link. Show them how to spell VeeFriends too. Don't just say it out loud, because they might think VeeFriends, right? We're not VeeFriends. We are VeeFriends, VEE friends, because of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. That's why. If you're new, by the way, if you're new, shout out. Email us, comics@veefriends.com. And follow us on these channels. Follow the comics. Corso and I would really appreciate it if you're following the comics and commenting on the comics. We put a lot of time into the comics, and you have only seen a tip of the iceberg with the comic books. The comic books you haven't even seen. It's going to blow your mind. Just wait. It's very cool. And that's why I'm impatient, because it's so freaking cool. Next week we're doing, actually I leave Saturday, and we have a full summit with Gary for like a week. So I don't know if we're calling it an offsite. Yeah, an offsite. Kind of like a comic summit. So we're diving deep into everything character related, character stories. Gary's got a bunch of stories in his brain. Things for, like, for example, he's got a big story about the dogs that he wants to talk through. And we're going to be locked in we're all going to be staying together as a big family, which is cool. Somebody asked me, do you think that's Are you going to be uncomfortable with that? I was like, no, it's like summer camp or something for comics, or I don't know. It'll be me and Andy, and I think Rips will be there, May will be there. A whole bunch of us for like an entire week. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be like the real world for comics, for VeeFriends stories. Because comics are really just a vehicle, you know. Comics are, nothing to diminish comics. Comics are just quicker to put out, and we can tell stories faster. And we've got a heck of a comics team built with Chris Faison, Ali Castro, and myself. We have a Kate Comics with a K. She's not full time, but she's now drawn 2 of the issues, 2 of the stories. Wait till you see her art. Like, if you see more of her art, you're gonna be like, whoa, what is this? What is this? That's a cute little panda. All right, this scene's a little bit. All right, let's bust open let's change minis. Let's go blue versus orange in the chat. I'll kind of add them up across all of our chats. I'm gonna give it a 15 seconds or so, or 30 seconds maybe. 30 seconds. Let's go. Orange, blue in the chat. Orange or blue in the chat. Dustin will be there as well to document a bunch of stuff. I got my. This is how this works. I got my Instagram comments over there. I've got. TikTok Live. Way over here, I've got YouTube community. Down here, I've got the actual board. What do we got? Blue, orange, blue. Let's do it like old school. Blue, orange, blue, orange, orange, orange. You know what? Orange made it to the top. Can't believe it. Let's see what's in here. The game that I play on these little mini breaks. My timers aren't going off. A detailed would beat the cynical cat. It looks dark. Looks like a dark shape in here. Let's see what we got. Nope. We've got an emerald karma kiwi. Pretty decent, but I'm going to say doesn't beat the cynical cat. So we'll set him over there for now. I open up like 5 of these per stream, something like that. Yeah, I'd reach out. As far as Topps Chrome go, you can do your part in the community or as a fan or new fan. Give them a call. How about go visit them? Visit a shop, a hobby shop near you. Any place that sells Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or anything like that is going to have access to ordering through Topps. And they've probably never heard of VeeFriends before. So please... please, okay, I kind of like that the flower's saying I'm free now. And I kind of want to change this guy's shape to be like, oh, like stunned. So we'll just get in here with some quick cartooning today. Jamie, what's going on? Love from the Chrome Bridge. Thanks for watching, guys. We're live across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Did you catch Daniel clip of doing a comic read aloud on podcast? Oh yeah, I did. I did catch that. That was fun. I've been saying that for a while too. Behind the scenes, I'm like, can we just get like our staff members to read comics, like even Corso and just random staff members if we can get them to do it. So that was cool to see that. I mentioned that before behind the scenes. I'm like, why can't we just have pull up a random comic? We've got hundreds of them now, and see, this isn't enough action in this pose. I'm gonna change it. I need him to look like. Let's just change this pose entirely. I'm not just going to go through the motions of, I want him to be like arm out. More bent over. Just a funny pose, Like, if you saw a flower bust out of the ground and say something, you would probably be like a little shocked as well. So that's kind of the pose we need to go with. We'll put his head here. Just like that. He doesn't do sports cards. That's perfect. He doesn't do sports cards. We're definitely not sports cards. Topps has a lot of sports cards, but Topps also has Disney non-fiction card or fiction cards. Let's call them non-sports cards. Non-sports trading cards. It's gonna be like, whoa. This guy's like, whoa. Give him some of that. It's fun to do cartooning like this. It's just, you can't really go wrong with some classic cartooning. We've got, really three elements of comics happening right now, which is very interesting. We've got the daily comics, which are what you see on the social media, what like the Instagram posts and stuff like that. That's like a daily. This 4-panel style is this style, right? Social media strips, web comics is what I call these, web comics, right? And then we've got the the Sunday comics in the Sunday newspaper. So we've got newspaper comics, which are much bigger, got a lot more space to work with for the Sunday comics. And then very soon we will also have comic books. So I almost grabbed the wrong one. That would have been total alpha if I would have grabbed if I would have grabbed the wrong one. I got another one right here. Are you ready? I got something else right here. Let's see if I can just sneak it in. I got something else right there. I'll just put the purple fire there. I got that one. I almost grabbed it too. It's funny. Anyways, we've got comic books coming out. And so we're hitting comics from all sides of comics, really. Some things are detailed stories, and they're thicker. They're like more depth to them. There's not much depth to the web comics, let's say. There's maybe some lessons and stuff occasionally, but some of the comic strips, though, I'm proud of because I have this other thing here that if I can do any 4 of these things, make you laugh, think, cry, or feel. If we can do all 4 of those things, it's a winner. This is for marketing as well. It's just a good formula to keep in mind your content. If it can do one of those 4 things, then you've won. If it's not making you do any of those things, then you might want to revisit it. So in this case, this comic is a little weird because it's got a flower bursting out of the ground. That kind of makes you think, but also like, what the hell? But also, how many times have you felt like, how much longer? I'm tired of waiting. It's like the story of your life. When you're a kid, you're waiting for that candy or that food or that Christmas or whatever. Did I have a cup of coffee? Of course. I skipped breakfast today. I didn't have any breakfast. Thanks for asking, but I've always got my self-love. Someone said, "Who's Jay?" If you're D, I'm like, no, it's just me. It's me. I found this at some gift store, and I laughed, and I'm like, it's like my self-love mug. You know, got to give some care to myself in the morning. It's just me plus me, because it's you versus you out there. Thanks for checking in. Why can't I see how many people are watching on TikTok? All right, not as many people on TikTok on the other channels. Doesn't matter. I don't really care. Even if it's 5 people, I really appreciate you guys spending a little time. Another thing I like to do is, you might have seen this, where with the trees, I like to put little faces on them. Right now he's dormant. He's just sleeping, kind of like, oh. And then he'll wake up at the end panel. And then I want to have a worm from the dirt kind of coming out. So what I'm doing here is, I'm gonna we're calling this onion skin, which is something they do in animation as well, but I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that. Paste. I think it'd be funny if he's like, I'm going to fade this out. Back to the other layer. It's a nice, like, tilted this way. I thought it'd be funny if he's saying, like, let's freaking go, but he's a flower. So he can't really go anywhere. So he'd be like, no, his let's freaking go. We do have these flowers you might not have recognized. Can you tell me 2 flowers that exist inside of VeeFriends? That's a trivia for you. Can you tell me 2 flowers that exist on the VeeFriends characters? 2 flowers. I'll check the chat. There are 2 characters I'm thinking of right now that have flowers. While we're thinking about that, just post, there's 2 characters. There may be more than that, but there's at least two characters I'm thinking of that have flowers. 2 flowers with 2 characters. Name them. Just for fun. 2 VeeFriends. We'll call them VeeFriends instead of just calling them characters. What 2? Name 2 that have it. Tough to beat a worm from the dirt. Oh. F you Monday Mole. That's right. There's one more. Can you think of another one? Because I'm gonna have worm from the dirt coming up out of here. One more character. We got Mole, Worm from the Dirt, And there's another character with a flower. Nope. I'm just curious to see if anybody will get it. It's the first flower I thought of, which was funny. Are you ready for it? I'll give you a couple more minutes to think about it. As we're let's go. Like Worm can go, but maybe it's like, maybe he'll say like, "It is my time," but I'm free sounds pretty cool. FU Monday Mole. So the three, there's two characters here. We got Mole, Worm from Dirt. Tough to beat a worm from the dirt. There you go. Matthew got it. Competitive clown. Let's take a look. VeeFriends.com. Go to all characters. Worm. Worm. There's his flower. There's his flower. Then we got Mole. There's his flower, which is kind of an interesting looking flower. It looks like a robot to me. Interesting flower there. And then Clown. There may be more, but those are the three that I think of right now. Clown. Come on, Clown. He's got a little flower in his hat. Just some trivia, you know, just popped in my mind as I was thinking about that. Because I'm like, which flower, you know. But I like to, this is like, again, part of a little bit of character development. Like, we've got little things in the world of VeeFriends that it's funny to add some dimension. It's fun, not funny. It's fun to add some dimension to those little things because they kind of add up, you know, over time. I'll have some shoes on. That's pretty good. I want him to look even more shocked. Like, what the? Maybe a little bit bigger eye. The panda won't be shocked here. He'll just be even happier. And probably with eyes closed, because he knew it was going to happen. He knew it was going to happen. He knew spring was coming. You know. Maybe he's like clapping. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can pull that off. Let's see. Yeah, kind of. Get that. That's fun. Ooh, I saw the character challenge thing happening too. That's pretty interesting. With the name as many characters as you can off the top of your head, or for a minute or something. That I might try that one time, but not right now. I'm not in the mental space to do that right now. But I was like, I could probably do that, especially since I've been working on a lot of the character bios. I could probably just go through alphabetically and start, you know, really going. We could make. Nah, I'm not going to try it on this stream. How about we do it on a future stream, though? I will do it. Can't just wake up, turn on the camera, and be like, "Pow!" You know, that'd be pretty wild. You would know I'm like all in with that. I don't know. It's, you know, like how many could I possibly name? What was it, like a minute? If anybody's watching. I don't know. So, Oh. Got delayed. $43 in a minute, says you. Sorry, I got some messages coming through. I was making sure I'm not missing something. Okay, great. So you see the concept here. Let's go. Yeah. LFG. And then the other thing I want to have happen is now the tree has all the leaves on it. Let's see. That's what we're doing there. And probably the same kind of facial. Let's see, copy, paste. Before I get to the inking, we'll just fly through some inks. I'll be back on the ground. I like to change the, I don't like to just like copy paste and not change something. So his eyes will be back here. And he'll be looking down at his friends. Patient Panda here. It's gonna be funnier if like more flowers pop up. Let's go. They're all popping up now. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll have even more popping up. That's a cool. I'm also thinking about animation. Like I know they've been animating some of these. So this will be fun for an animator to work on. Maybe even for like next year, So like first flower, maybe we'll put like one little bud. These little small details, like one little sprout. All right, that's the basis of it. I'm gonna merge. Let's see, I'm gonna merge these, maybe. And get rid of that. We'll keep this guy for now. He's not going to be crying there, don't worry. And then I feel pretty good about just merging them. Let's just do it. Let's merge them up. Just pinch on it like that. I can get rid of the background. Good enough. I could fade this out a little bit. And we'll just get in here and start some start some inking. You see the dolphins met the astronauts when they splash landed. Yeah, I did see that. That was cool. I can't do it right now. I can't do it right now. My brain space is not, not perfect for that. If I didn't have work to do. I'm tempted. I am tempted. You've tempted me to do it, but let's see how I'm feeling at the end of the stream, maybe. What are the canvas dimensions for this? Well, that's an interesting question. Well, every panel here, I have this gold, I think it's like a golden ratio of, this is 1080 pixels across by 1350 long. So this is a portrait size, but this whole thing scales together so that, I'll show you what I mean. This could be an 8x10 page. This could be a panel. They all fit within each other in this ratio. So if I duplicate the panels like this and I resize, you can see that they always fit within themselves like a puzzle. You see what I'm saying? All the way down as far as we want to go. This is like a universal kind of panel size if we want to do 4 strips across. So 1350 pixels long, 1080 wide at 300 dpi, and the overall canvas size is 2435 by 3071. But that's just because I put a little border around it. I should just make this. I don't know what would be a good way to just give away the template. I'll tell you what. If you want the template, email me at comics@VeeFriends.com. If you want the Procreate template, I have it up. I have a link. I can send you the link, and I'll send you the template. Maybe some brushes too. Because I make my own brushes. I'll send you these brushes. How about that? That's something nice I can do for you. People ask all the time. Like, I love this inking brush that I have called Smooth Train. It is available out there for free if you look up Smooth Train brush. But I'll just send it to you if you email me. So I just messed that up though. On the wrong panel there. I can actually bring this panel down for the. This can actually be part of the inks. I'm not too precious about that part. I do like to have my balloons on their own layer, so I use my Smooth Train brush for that too. Just because it's like, it's just smooth enough. But I like a nice, a nice organic balloon. I don't like it when it's just a full ellipse or like really boring looking ovals, you know, like just I don't like that. I like the hand-drawn look of let's just work on this panel for the rest of the stream, I think. inks. I can now turn off. So I've got those in a layer. I can turn those balloons off, and I can actually draw underneath. Because sometimes we'll want the full panda, you know, the full. If there's a balloon going over top of it, we might want the full art. So, and this tree I'll reuse. However, I draw this tree here behind. I'm going to reuse it in the bottom panels a little bit. Can't really go wrong with the tree, you know, some branches and stuff like that. Pretty easy. I do want to make sure my lines are closed though, so that when I'm coloring, you can go a lot faster. Okay, great. You can also set your brush sizes just like that, so that I've got like medium, large, you know, really large, down the line art for those guys. So morning, everybody. Let's do a real quick reset. 419 watching across all of our channels, or have watched, I don't know. This is the VeeFriends Making Comics live stream. I am DJ Kaufman, the director of comics here at VeeFriends. Cheers to you. That's my coffee. I don't know which one. I'm just having a regular old coffee this morning. This is the VeeFriends Making Comics live stream. I am DJ. VeeFriends is over 250 characters designed to make soft skills cool, freaking cool. Created by Gary Vaynerchuk. He hand drew all the original VeeFriends. Hence the name V in VeeFriends. VeeFriends cartoons are available online on YouTube Kids. We've got 20 episodes for kiddos. We've got the highly collectible trading card game. Look that up. eBay. Sold items. You're going to blow your mind, and I can't afford it. You know. We've got VeeFriends Chrome coming out. Trading cards. May 7th. Just VeeFriends trading cards. Way more affordable. Mass, you know, not mass market, but definitely all over the place. And we've got these VeeFriends minis, vending machines. If you're a business out there and you'd like to do some VeeFriends vending, we've got these little capsules. They're pencil toppers, which is perfect for me as an artist, but great for teachers and kids, and really just to have, you know, I usually have a couple of them sitting around. Like, this is a detailed creative crab. We're going to stick him up there for a minute. But yeah, they're fun. They're fun to open. I think I got a burglar. Bubblegum burglar. I'm going to say he's going to beat the cat. Cynical cat. Bubblegum smells like bubblegum. Burglar. Befuddled burglar. And like I said, we've got comic books coming out. First cover done by J. Scott Campbell. Pretty legend in the comics space. Story by myself. Art by Chris Faison and the interiors. A whole new world of VeeFriends is about to open up. And I do these live streams all the time. Just pretty chill, laid back. You're just sitting with me as I'm drawing the Sunday comics, or reposition this a little bit. The Sunday comics and comic books, which I can't really show you too much of. And we can look at that again. The comic book is like a real story, real people. The VeeFriends are real. You know, humans are in trouble. This kid's in trouble. He really messed up. And of course, the VeeFriends will get him back on track in a really cool way. So, We are cranking it out. Now this is just a little daily strip, little fun idea that I started this morning. Guy's impatient. Patient Panda's reminding him, wait for it. And then flowers are going to start bursting out of the ground saying, I'm free. And then, let's go. Worm from the dirt's coming out. Like, let's go. I can't move. I can't go anywhere. So it's just about springtime. But it's also about patience. There's a little bit deeper, deeper meaning if you struggle with patience. Did I accidentally close my... What in the world? Oh, man. Close the TikTok chat. Sorry. If you said anything, why Procreate and not Clip Studio Paint? Honestly, I think it's just because I've the main reason for me is when I tried Clip Studio Paint, the brushes were clunky, and even the brushes that I were like custom brushes, they didn't feel as smooth. I feel like the engine, the drawing engine in Procreate, is much more developed, and so it just feels more natural to me. And there's less options in Procreate, but that's okay because really, I'm approaching my comics very traditionally. I've got my pencil layer, my ink layer, my color layer. That's all I really need. I can export them as what I need to export them as, and I've just stuck with Procreate. Also, another reason Procreate might be is because, well, it was affordable at the time. I think it was $7 when I bought it, and it's no subscription. I know Clip Studio Paint has, deals and stuff like that, but some people prefer that. Some people prefer this. And I would probably go back and try it again, maybe, but I just don't have time. So now that I'm producing so much, I got to stick to what I know, and Procreate's been fine for me. And we've drawn thousands of panels, pages. If anybody wants my templates that's watching, you can email me at comics@VeeFriends and ask for the templates. I'll just give them to you. I used to have them for sale up a couple of the old ones, but I've developed my templates over time for my speed and efficiency and stuff like that. So you're welcome to them. I'm happy to give them to you. I would also say develop your own. Learn how to make your own, because everybody's process is a little bit different. I'd say there's no real cookie cutter, way of doing it. There's some basic processes to drawing, but I would say I've seen a lot of different approaches, but we're all very similar in a way. I like it just all black like that. That's fine. It's looking good. I can't show any more of the bad intentions from yesterday because it's completed, and you'll see what it is soon. But this tree just kind of chilling. Like sleeping. Dormant. I'm tempted. I'm just going to go ahead and just draw some of the tree lines and roots. Sort of close it off a little bit. Ding. Good morning, Keith. What's up? Congrats on getting that #1 poster. I drew the VFam had a meetup, and in Texas over the last weekend. Gary had the idea to, if I had time, to draw an event poster real quick, and Rips hooked it up. Rips got a hold of me and said, hey, surprise and delight time. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But we got a lot of stuff, so much stuff cooking behind the scenes. You've seen some of it now. The Sunday Comics plan is out there, and we're in 72 different newspapers across the country. We got comic books cooking. They should have been out by now, but a little bit delayed. Have some patience there. I will finish this comic today, though. It's kind of for spring. Maybe we'll just throw it up as a bonus comic tomorrow, because tomorrow's the first day of spring. Spring equinox, right? Shout out to all my equinox people, whatever, that are excited. Springtime energy. I definitely want to. I seem to say it every year, but I really mean it this year. I'm going to get out and walk more and get out in nature more. Really feel like, from all the things I've been studying and reading a lot, and there's something to being out there in nature. You're out there, and that's where the ideas really come from. Get a lot of inspiration from nature, instead of being stuck inside looking at nature on a screen. It's like, let's get out there, even just for a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Take an hour walk in the woods. Soggy got banned. Back there. I like doing that. I like having some black in the background there, because there's branches on the back side of that tree too that you can't see, and it just looks cool. Looks cool. Yeah, I got a lot to do today. Like I showed that thing earlier in the stream. I got some. Got a little bit of a deadline today. Make it by the end of the day. Get to FedEx. Ship some stuff off. Got to get ready for our big week off-site for comics. So we're all getting together to really detail out stories and plans for the comic books. Comic overall strategy, which is really the story team, working with Gary for a week, and I'm sure a lot of things will come from that. We'll probably have 2 years worth of roadmap for stories for sure, I'd imagine. Someone asked me where. I'm probably not going to say, but it's not here. It's far away. Just don't want people showing up trying to find us or something, We're all going to be very secluded. Don't know if there's going to be much time to. Maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe we'll say what location we're at. Or roundabouts, because Maybe if there are people around there, maybe we can do a little meetup or something, like a quick little meetup. You know, I like to do that, so if I have time. Okay, cool. The war room. That's right. I don't know. I don't like to call it a war room. They had the war room for the trading cards, Chrome. You saw a lot of that content that came out. So I believe Dustin is going, the camera guy, at least for a couple days or something. So I'd imagine you'll see some cool content. It'll be cool to have Ali Castro, Chris Faison, the other artists on the comics team. I hired Chris Faison late summer, fall. I don't know. We hired him full time on the comics team. You're seeing a lot of his, when you see the VeeFriends manga, stickers and cards, that's all Chris. That new black cat that everybody was chatting about yesterday. That's a Chris Faison jam. And people are really liking his style, and especially, internally as well. Gary's excited about the style, and people that have seen it that are not VeeFriends, that are not current VeeFriends fans, they see it and they go, "What's this?" And that's what we want. We want more people to discover VeeFriends through the comics and cards, and we really got to expand. It's been cool to have us like a cool community that we all know each other, and there's the core people. There'll always be the OGs, but we need about 1 million more OGs right now. That's what we need. We're gonna actually get to the mission of building VeeFriends to be what Gary envisions it to be, and I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. Just because I've seen friends of mine or acquaintances of mine go from being, I've seen. Let's just talk about Robert Kirkman. You might know him from The Walking Dead or Invincible. Now, years ago, he was just putting all of his printing for his comic books on credit cards. And I saw him at shows, hawking his books. He had a label called Funkotron, his own little label. Really great books. Battle Pope. This is before he was with Image Comics, and but it just goes to show, like one guy working with a bunch of different artists. He had a vision for what he wanted to do. He finally got a good break with Walking Dead, but he got in there and built Walking Dead into a $1 billion franchise, and then he did it again with Invincible. These things can pop up. Now say what you will about the content, like it's violent, it's whatever, but someone told me, like, well, violence sells, and I'm like, yeah, but look at Bluey. There's something for everybody, and I really think that VeeFriends, like we say, Pokemon meets Sesame Street meets whatever. On these streams, we say it's like Pokemon meets therapy, which doesn't sound as it sounds cool to some people, I guess, if that's what you're needing, but it helps you. Like, these characters help people and help each other, and that's pretty cool. I've been saying VeeFriends meets like Alice in Wonderland. You'll see why soon, like that kind of vibe for some of the stories. That there's an actual world to discover and explore, and a world of characters, a world of possibilities. Maybe we just answer all the secrets of the universe. Why are we here? who put us here. I don't know. You know, that kind of thing. We'll just answer it all. That's total value content right there. We're going to give you the answers to the universe. The mystery of life itself. The greatest story. I think that's Eminem. Could be Eminem. Could be just a modern young man that's like, why do I gotta wait so long? How much longer? I like that these the VeeFriends minis act as also a way that I can drum on my iPad without hurting it. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna have him looking down instead of up. We also know he's gonna have blue eyes. He will have some blue eyes. 9:25. I'm gonna have to get out of here soon, but not right now. Let's just put a little bit more work into this. And then look for it tomorrow. I think. Somewhere out there. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Hey, if you're new to the stream, thanks for watching today. Email us at comics@veefriends.com. Let me know that you're new. Or just say what's up. You can also send fan mail if you want or whatever. Let us know how it's going. If you need to talk to somebody, you know, we'd like to hear from you. We like to also know, like, where did you discover us? Like, how did you find VeeFriends? Or did you find it in a TikTok stream? Or, you know, all that stuff. We'd like to hear that. John Mayo, what's up? Appreciate you watching today. So what I'll usually do is I'll just hit this to reference layer. Actually, turn that off real quick. Fill in these bubbles real quick with white. Oh, nope, that's black. White. Okay, and then turn on this background layer now and isolate it. Turn off my pencil sketch. This is kind of the fun part for me now. It's just the coloring part is kind of fun. Whoops. Reference layer. Colors. White. Pretty easy. Pretty easy colors today. White. Oh, what happened? Something's not closed here. It's this guy right here. It's just enough pixel right there that's allowing the white to flow out. Got it. a little white belly. And then I like to give him a kind of like a blue-gray shadow effect for the other part of black. It's kind of bluish gray, not total gray. Same thing with the nose. This is Patient Panda, by the way. He's been hanging out, working with us. You can get these 2-inch minifigures on the Whatnot streams or over on eBay. Cool little 2-inch figures. I like having them around, chilling out. Oops. It's nice to have. Okay, so then we just pick a nice blue. He's got kind of darker blue eyes like that. There, so he's looking up, he's looking down, because he's gonna see those crazy flowers bursting out of the ground in a minute. Matthew, we'll see you later. 9:30 here on the East Coast. This is usually around the time that the West Coast people start joining, and then I feel like I should stay. But let's put this in front of that. Okay, good. Get some grass color. Like I said, I want to use like a kind of like a dead grass color here, like that. Something's also leaking. Leaky pixels. Gotta shut that line. Yeah. Grass. Be kind of like dead grass, and then I'll make it into brighter, vibrant grass. I'm gonna take my gouache brush, kind of just throw some shadow underneath the characters there a little bit, just like that. Behind him here, we'll just go ahead and same thing. I think, like, you know, the skies are kind of gray and dreary in the winter time. So we're just gonna bust that like that. This will be behind the tree. Even like we can let's just continue it over here. Why not? This whole top tier can be that color kind of thing. We'll paint the tree back in a minute. Some like wash behind him. Might as well do it now while I'm talking about it. Black. Pretty easy to do, because he's just leaning against this tree here. Easy peasy. Even the tree itself could be like a look at that color there. See how easy that is? Boom. Boom. And then same thing, I like to put, you know, a drop shadow. If someone's leaning on a tree, I gotta have them have a little shadow there. Add some depth to that. And then same thing with the character itself. I like to have a little very light blue kind of, that's too dark. that. It's very hard to see on the stream, actually. But it's there, I promise. Sometimes even like under lips, under noses. Just add some little bit of depth to the character. We're gonna give this guy like a red shirt. We'll do that thing. He'll have a red shirt in this panel, and maybe he'll have purple in the end because he's red. And then maybe some like blue pants. Going a little over just because I want to get a little bit more of this. Same thing, I just grab like a little tiny shadow brush and put the shadows underneath the same thing with the highlight. Now I'll move that up, get a little highlight, do a little bit more, hit the nose with that. He's like, oh man. And coloring used to be quite a chore for me, and I got better at it because I just did it so much that now I enjoy this part a little bit, but I can tend to what we call noodle it to death. Like I can just mess around with it for hours, and that's what slows me down a little bit. But I like to have that control over like the vision I have for the strip. If I were to hand it off to someone else, they might come back with a totally different color scheme than what I imagined. And if I'm busy, I might just go, all right, we'll let it ride. But there's something satisfying about taking art to full completion of your vision that you had when you were sketching it out. But just a little extra work of putting in like some highlights and shadows. I usually do 3 tones on the characters. Like there's a highlight, there's a mid-tone, and there's a shadow. And it really makes the characters kind of pop a little bit better, I think. Are we still live on YouTube? Man, sometimes the streams have been ending early. If that happens, well, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following us at VeeFriends Comics on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I don't know if we have let me check to see real quick. I'm just curious if we've got a new comic up or not. Is it Wednesday? Indeed, it's Wednesday. Usually there'll be a new comic up at some point today on the Instagram. Never mind. Okay. And then I'll also come in here and just like I said, I can noodle this to death, but I like to put a little bit of grass, just enough. Maybe something that's kind of right there. That's kind of foreboding of where that flower is going to come up out of the ground. And let's give him some white tennis shoes with some gray soles. I'll just use the same shadow from him on those white sneakers. Sometimes just drawing, you know, a little bit, just subtle. It's so subtle you won't even see it, but there's some laces on there, you know. You might see it. You might notice. Same thing with the tree. Now I gotta like just give a little bit of a highlight on the edge. Someone commented the other day, well, it's been an ongoing thing when they see that I put little smiley faces on the trees or the, I mean, that already exists inside of the VeeFriends backgrounds. I didn't make that up. I just kind of amplified it a little bit. But also it's kind of a mission, a message, not a mission, a message that, you know, it's all life, you know. Imagine if you came back as a tree and you couldn't talk, you could just observe. Maybe you don't even have eyeballs, you're just there. Maybe you can see psychically or something. I don't know. You know. See how I took that shadow color there and put that in the mouth. I'll also just use it as the shadow color of these lines here. Pretty easy. Easy breezy. Last panel, the tree will be full of leaves. Like spring just happened. All of a sudden. It's kind of how it feels sometimes where you just walk outside and you're like, whoa, 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 it's time to cut my grass. Steve's wood carving, what's going on? Shout out to Steve. All right, guys. That's a good solid 100 minutes of, maybe 90 minutes is what we're at, really. I think we could call it a stream. I got to go work on some other stuff. I showed earlier in the stream, you saw what I was working on. I've got some other stuff to do. So look for this finished comic tomorrow. We're going to have a fun little, again, if you just missed it, we have, this one gets a little weird, I said, because we're going to have these flowers breaking through the ground like, I'm free. I'm free, let's go. And then they can't go. We can't go anywhere. Like, he won't be crying in the last panel there, but just a fun little, easy, not a heavy lesson or anything like that. We do that a lot, but this is just a fun, hey, it's spring. You've been waiting. It's here. We've made it. We made it to another spring. Appreciate you guys. I'm DJ, the director of comics here at VeeFriends, cartoonist. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. VeeFriends is forever. And if you're watching and you're an artist and you want any of those templates, email me at comics@veefriends.com and I'll send you a link for that. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you real soon. Time to go do some other stuff.